Hi, hello, welcome if you're new here or welcome back. Either way, hi. I do not own this fanfiction, nor do I own the beautiful fan arts used in this video. With that being said, hopefully you enjoy it. Mina Eshido. Being the complete dunce that you and Mina are, you two were climbing a fairly tall tree in the park. If you were to fall, all you would get would be a few bruises and a case of broken ribs from laughing too hard. Leaves fell on the grass below as you and Mina sat on a sturdy branch. The two of you kissed before pulling away to see your phone had somehow fallen to a branch below you. "I'll get it," you said. Mina grabbed your shoulder. "I may be stupid, but I'm not that stupid to grab my phone right now. What if you fell out of the tree?" Mina reasoned. You rolled your eyes with a smile. "First, you're not stupid, and second, I'm not the 9th hero in the world for nothing," you exclaimed. Mina smiled and kissed your cheek, then hesitantly let go of your shoulder. You leaned forward, holding onto Mina's arm to keep yourself from falling. Just as you had the phone within reach, Mina sneezed, causing you to fall face first into the immense pile of leaves. Mina immediately jumped down and landed gracefully. "Sorry!" she exclaimed, helping you up and kissing some slight injuries that you had gotten. "This but a scratch," you respond. She laughed and kissed you. Suyu Asui. Since the two of you liked to go to the nearby lake, you sat in the tree that towered over the lake as Sue swam below you. "You should get in the water one," she suggested. You smiled and nodded, grabbing your swimsuit that was in your bag. "Sure, just let me get changed," you yelled. Sue nodded and went underwater, which didn't concern you, since the branch that you were sitting on was a little far from where you could get out of it safely. You cautiously crawled. Sue gave you a concerned look as you attempted to reach over to another branch. Unfortunately, you slipped and fell into the deep water. Sue laughed and helped you up to see you with leaves sticking out of your hair. "Are you okay?" she questioned. You smiled and pecked her lips. "Yep, that was incredibly stupid though," you said. Ochako Uraka. With it being midnight, you were taking a stroll outside your apartment complex. After successfully getting some pastries from a nearby bakery, you walked home with a smile and somehow ended up in the park. And since you were especially tired, you started to climb up the tree for whatever reason. Everything seemed to go fine and dandy. That was until your foot slipped, and you were hanging upside down by a bone. The only thing that made it worse was the fact that Ochako was laughing so hard she started crying. Kyoka Jiro. With your apartment building having a tree in the back, you and Kyoka often sat under the tree to help her write music and play with the neighbors' dogs. It was around 6 in the evening, and you and your girlfriend were sitting outside, chatting about work when a meow came from the tree. And you, being an animal lover at heart, you were now stuck in the tree with the cat jumping off on its own. "Your love for animals is going to get you killed one day," Kyoka shouted, and you chuckled in response. "Gee, love you too!" Then you proceed to fall into a nearby bush. Momo Yayorozu. As Momo helped you pick out the leaves out of your hair, you couldn't help but notice Momo holding in a laugh. "What's so funny?" you asked. She giggled. "Nothing," you smirked in response. "I found that hard to believe, considering the situation at hand." She smiled and kissed your cheek. "Fine, you falling out of the tree was hilarious, and I regret not recording it." You two shared a laugh and ended up binging random animes that have bizarre plots. Itsuka Kendo. Your ginger-haired girlfriend watched in awe as you started to climb up a tree in the local park, despite the fact that you can barely reach the top shelf for a bag of chips. "If you fall, I will laugh," she shouted, a teasing expression lining her features. "Me? Never!" you replied, finally reaching the peak and waving to your girlfriend. But as you are a klutz at heart, you slipped. Luckily, Kendall was able to catch you, would then proceed to tease you about it for the rest of the week. Mei Hatsume. As you colleagues and friends had labeled you two when you first started dating, you and Mei were the dunce duo. So As it was around 2 in the afternoon, you and May were trying to help a kid get their balloon out of a tree, and you suggested something that made May be sent into worry. "I can climb the tree and get it," you suggested. "Are you sure?" May asked, gently squeezing your arm. You nodded, proceeding to start climbing. People watched in anticipation, and you, having the social skills of a gamer, you proceeded to fall just as you got the balloon. And that's the story of how millions of pictures of May catching you were circulating around the internet. Nejuri Hado. With you and Nejuri not sleeping in 2 days, the two of you decided to do the only reasonable thing. Climb a tree. Well, that was mainly you, but who cares about the details? So, as Nejuri watched as you laughed in triumph, a smirk lined her lips. "I am legally obligated to laugh if you fall," you scoffed. "Me? No, never." Nejuri grabbed her phone, then pressed the record button, prepared for your downfall. Sure, she was going to catch you if you were to fall, but not before laughing until she couldn't breathe. And the glorious moment did come, and now Nejuri has teasing material. Psycho-intelligy or something. With Psycho being so protective of you, the dream of climbing a tree like you used to have never crossed your mind. But as the two of you were walking past the park, you gently elbowed Psycho's arm. "Can I?" "No. You'll get hurt with your clumsiness." Fortunately, the puppy eyes you gave her were successful, so she grinned and gripped your hand. "Fine, but you better promise to not fall. And if you do, you have to pay me dinner." With excitement coursing through your veins, you rushed to the tree and started to climb. All was going well, and with Psycho sitting on the bench that was below the tree, you had nothing to lose other than your pride if you fell. And you ended up losing said pride, along with around 100 yen. Miss Joke. With Miss Joke being much more daring than you, you watched as she started to climb the tree with you, anxiously watching. "Are you sure you won't fall?" you shouted, which meant she responded with a smirk. "I promise I won't." A mischievous look across her features. "Or you could come join me." You laughed, and determined to prove yourself to not be a nerd, you started to climb until you reached the top, slightly higher than Emmy. Unfortunately, you slipped and had to buy Izawa a new sleeping bag since he got you down. Mirko. With your flirty girlfriend watching as you climbed the tree, you couldn't help but feel this was a trap of some sort. But hey, you did accept the dare. With it being mid-December, your foot slipped on ice, causing you to fall, landing in Miracle's embrace. You chuckled. "You did this on purpose, didn't you?" "Maybe," she replied. With Fuyumi being anxious a lot, she normally would stop you from climbing a tree, but today it was different for some reason. So there you were, sitting at the tallest branch, smiling down at your girlfriend. "I'm taller than you," you shouted, making her chuckle. "For now, you weirdo. Now get down so we can get home," she replied. Nodding, you were about to get off when your foot slipped. So Fuyumi ended up using her quirk to make a slide made of ice. Then you had to call Shoto to melt it. In Midoriya, somehow convincing your girlfriend to allow to climb a tree, you did end up falling into some nearby bushes, and when you did, Inko had tears streaming down her cheeks as she plumped out some leaves from your hair. "Again!" you exclaimed, and this only made her drag you home. Mount Lady. Being drunk at the time, you was holding onto you tightly as the two of you walked home, but you had other plans. Starting to run towards the park, she followed to see you, being an intelligent idiot, somehow hanging upside down by a vane from a tree. All she had to do was increase her size to get you down, but she never lets you forget it. Himiko Toga. While you waited for Toga to return from a mission, your eyes glazed to the park that was nearby. You set out towards your destination, and when you arrived, you decided to climb a tree for whatever reason. What's unfortunate is the fact that the leaf was watching when you fell into some bushes, and Dabi and Toga always bring it up. Midnight. With Midnight is the mischievous type, you never expected her to suggest what she suggested. "Hey Ryan, wanna prank All Might?" she asked. "Why would I want that?" you asked. She shrugged her shoulders, but leaned in. I'll buy you lunch. So that's how you ended up becoming viral online for falling out of a tree, while All Might laughed until he could barely breathe. Cyrus, I think that's her name. Like an idiot, you had started climbing a random tree in the park to save a balloon for a little kid. Of course, it was a lot of levels down from what you would normally deal with, but you might as well. Unfortunately for you, your lovely girlfriend was watching as you gripped the string of the balloon, then gracefully fell into her arms with the little girl crying as you accidentally let go. You had to buy her a new one. Ibara Shiosaki. Whenever you get really bored or tired, maybe both, you tend to do questionable things in which Ibara has had to save you. Some examples might include laughing at the words ostrich, watching old Anus clips while sobbing, and climbing trees. So there you were, getting saved by your girlfriend after getting stuck in a tree. However, before that could happen, you tried to reach for a branch, which made you fall a few feet into some bushes, and Ibara had the audacity to laugh. Kemi Utsushimi. You had no idea how you got there, but you did. So as Kami took pictures of you for social media, you thought about random things. So aren't you going to get me down? You asked. Luckily, you were sitting on a branch not too far from the ground, so she could help you perfectly. Sure, she replied, but you had to admit this is more important. You chuckled and just decided to get down yourself. After all, you were the 9th-ranked hero in the world, and you had endured much worse. You gripped a nearby branch. Hi, hello again. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I do not own this fanfiction, nor do I own the beautiful fan arts used in this video. With that being said, goodbye!